It is time for our conversation on Mindshift Friday. Every Friday, we bring you interesting conversations to provoke our thinking, to scrutinize things we have believed, things we say, basically to look at things from different perspectives and see what we can learn. This morning, we want to talk about economic inequality and how it affects mental health. Today we get to hang out with Reverend Caroline Wanjiku Kamau. She is a pastor with Full Gospel Church in Zimmerman. She ministers together with her husband, Bishop Kamau Ngwiri, and they have been doing this for quite some time, blessed with three children. She's also professionally trained as a marriage and family therapist. Reverend Caroline, karibu sana.
Thank you so much.
It's good to have you on the show today.
Thank you.
So we are looking at inequality, economic inequality and mental health. How would we define economic inequality?
Thank you. When we talk about economic inequality, we are talking about an equal distribution of resources, an equal distribution of opportunities.
Okay.
So that we have those who are privileged to have the opportunities,
Yes.
and others who are not. Some who are privileged to have certain level of resources,
Yes.
and others not. Indeed, it is a gap. It is that gap between the rich and the poor. It's a gap between the haves
And the
and the
have-nots.
have-nots.
Yes.
That gap.
Okay.
Yes.
What about mental health? Because we keep talking about mental health. What do we mean by mental health?
Or when we talk about the mental health, we are talking about a kind of a state in which our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions are in line with the normal processes. Because when we talk about mental health in itself, we are talking about a state in which I am emotionally, physically, mentally stable and able to function well.
Yes.
Both in the society, in the workplace, if it is a student, possibly in the learning environment.
Yeah.
That state whereby I am stable, I'm emotionally stable. That's that state whereby I can be able to make decisions. Yeah, the right decision. And of course do the right thing.
Do the right thing.
That is mental health.
Okay.
But again, we also have an element of mental health issues.
Yes.
The issues, the problems that we are talking about. And of course it becomes the opposite of that. When there is any alteration or any change that significantly affects my performance, affect the way I make decisions, affect my mood, my feelings, my emotions, my thoughts, then I would say that I have a mental health problem.
I find it interesting that, and I'm wondering why is it that within this generation, we have a lot of mental health issues, a lot of conversations being generated about mental health issues. When I think back to when I was a teenager, when I was younger, we rarely had conversations about mental health issues. In fact, anything mental health related, in fact, even that term mental health was not there.
It wasn't.
Yes, anything to do with the mind, if it's not functioning properly, as we just used to say, we were peleko madare. That's the place we knew. So why is it that we seem to have a lot more of mental health issues now?
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you because even this month of May, by the way, it is a mental health month, creating awareness.
Yes.
And also the societies or the governments have come up with the month of October as an awareness month.
Okay.
So I feel that the times that we are living, there is a lot of information out there. And the way of delivering that information and making it available to people, I think it is better than the days that we are growing up.
Yeah.
Again, the technology. It has also taken us to another level whereby the things that we didn't know, we are able to to get to know them. Remember, they say the world is a global village.
Yes.
So whatever is happening elsewhere, it is able to trickle down to where we are. When we were growing up, I think even also the cases were not as they are today, because I think the levels of stressors and the awareness of the stressors, I think it is more in this generation than in the past generations.
So what's the connection between economic inequality and mental health?
There is a connection, and I think the World Organization at one point discovered that link.
Okay.
That economic inequality can be a precursor to mental health
issues.
But at the same time, mental health issues can also be a precursor for economic inequality. What do I mean by that? Economic inequality can bring issues of depression, anxieties.
Yes.
And especially when people are comparing themselves against others.
Yeah.
Because somebody said about money, and he was asking, how much money is enough? And then somebody said, a little more.
A little more.
A little more. So even those that we think they do not have issues with the economy, a little more.
They want a little more.
And they want a little more. So in that case, we find being unable to reach to your expectation or your goal, it gives you some depression. Yeah?
Yes.
So in the economic inequality in this case, we are saying that a problem that is existing, like so we say maybe depression caused by any other thing, yeah, it can make it worse. Yeah, it can make it worse.
I think we saw quite a bit of that when the pandemic hit.
Yes.
And a lot of people lost their jobs.
Yes.
We even saw cases of domestic violence shooting up because people are confined within one space. They're not used to that.
They are not.
Income is no longer coming in.
Yeah.
And it was just a recipe for disaster. Yeah.
Indeed, indeed. So again, that you see the cycle that you are economically in inequality state can lead to mental health issues.
Yeah.
But again, mental health issues that could be caused by anything else. Like, let's talk about something like schizophrenia. Yeah, that state of what do we call it? Madness or something like that, maniac or something.
Yes.
That one will require constant attention. Am I right?
Yeah.
So that constant attention and the costs implication of the same. Yeah?
Yes.
Can deplete the resources that I have.
Yeah.
So it takes me back to the state where poverty is at my door. You get?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there is that link, there is that relationship between the two.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering just to bring bring this thing together. What would you say are some of the common mental health issues that we have to deal with, or people have to deal with, especially in this country, in our space, as we relate this to economic inequality?
Okay, there are quite a number of mental illnesses or mental diseases that in our days are very, very common. But can I also say that some of the people that possibly are labeled to be mentally unstable could be, maybe it is because of this issue of poverty,
yes,
and economic inequalities.
Yeah.
I was looking at a situation, before I come to your question, I was looking at a situation where there are orphans in the streets. These were not, they were not born mad, but possibly when their parents died and the relatives didn't want them, they sent them out of their family.
Yeah.
they get into the street, then we think they are mad. But possibly they are there because they are homeless.
Yeah, they don't have any other choice.
They don't have any other choice to be there. So sometimes we look at the people and the experiences they are going through, and then we think they are mentally unstable. But possibly if given an opportunity, maybe they can be able to change their status.
I like what you're saying. Yeah. Because even not just even people in the streets. Yeah, you know, you have people who, I'm thinking about men who have families, but they don't have anything to do. They don't have a job. Yeah. You know, and because of that, then they're sinking into this state of depression or anxiety. But all they need is an opportunity. Yeah. If they did get an opportunity, then they can put food on the table and feed their families, then the whole issue of anxiety and depression would no longer be an issue.
Would no longer be an issue. You're right. You're right. And maybe those are some of the areas that we are saying. Maybe it would help us to tackle the problem. But before we get there, you have asked maybe some of the examples of common. We have issues of depression, which is very common. And of course, depression at different levels. At different levels. And people keep on using that word before they tell us who did the assessment. How did they assess themselves?
That's the other thing, yes.
So they say, I'm depressed. And you're like, how do you know
you're depressed?
Yeah, and then they can only give maybe a few things. I'm feeling sad, I'm feeling, and then you are wondering, how long has that happened? Yeah, so we have depression. We also have anxieties, anxiety disorders. We also have among the anxieties, mood disorders. We have panic, panic disorders. We also have the bipolar disorders. We have the schizophrenia, as I said earlier. We could have personality disorders. We could also have eating disorders. Eating disorders, whereby either we are eating too much or possibly we are eating too little, and what we eat we force it out.
Anorexia.
All these are
issues that people have to deal with. You know, I'm just thinking about in terms of even finding help, because now that seems to be out of reach. For seemingly the people who need the help the most, because I think getting yourself first of all diagnosed and assessed so that they can figure out what you need is way expensive. For these people who are in this category that we're talking about, what then do we do? How do they find help?
How do they find help? I think, as you have rightly put it, maybe we begin with creating awareness and demystifying the issues of mental health.
Demystifying, I like that.
Yeah, because when you say, I have gone to Mathare, for example, it rings a bell. First of all, people want to know, umeenda Mathare kufanya nini, or what could be happening with you. And you see now the Mathare thing has been labeled like anybody going there must be mad.
Yes.
I think outrightly.
We knew that from when we were children. Anytime you mention Mathare, the first thing that comes to mind is Mathare Mental Hospital.
Yes.
For people who have gone crazy.
Yeah.
That's how we have been looking at it for a very long time.
Yes. And you see, together with that, the psychiatrist part of Mathare has also been lumped together with the psychological help that people can get from there. So now I think we have to come to a point where we demystify mental health issues, and then we also provide a solution that the moment that you get into a mental disorder is not the end of you. It is not the end of life. There is still hope.
There's still hope.
So that they can, the masses can know that there is treatment either through the medicine or even through the counseling. And I think that is where we need to to open the minds of people that if I have a problem, a mental health issue, there is help out there.
And it's okay to talk about it.
Yes, you are right. You are right.
Yeah. And sometimes we are afraid to talk about it because of what people will think.
Will think about us,
especially some of the issues that you're talking about, something like schizophrenia.
Yeah.
You know, and I think, and maybe we'll talk about this later, because also the church has a part to play.
Indeed.
And we need to be able to find solutions. So I love what you're saying, because creating awareness then makes people realize I'm not the only one who's going through this. There are people who are going through it. There are people who've gone through it and they've found help. So there's hope.
Yeah, and I think, again, also bringing up people who can be able to showcase what has happened to me and where am I. And I've recovered from this, and so there is help out there. Because I get helped, but I don't have a channel to let people know that this does work. Yeah.
You know, talking about creating awareness, I think it will also deal with because sometimes I find with poverty comes a lot of superstitions.
Yes.
And where mental health issues are concerned, sometimes because of lack of knowledge and even lack of resources, then you hold on to what you know.
Yeah, you're right.
And what you may know is maybe some of the cultural beliefs we have. We've seen cases, even in this country, where a child has been chained and locked up for years because they have a mental health condition and the parents don't understand. And so their cultural belief is we are merogwa, or we need to do this. But I think awareness will also deal with that.
You are right. You are right. You are right. Because again, as you have rightly put it, we look at it like we are disadvantaged. And because we are disadvantaged, we want to remain in that state of being disadvantaged. And we don't want to come out and see what can become of us. I like the way you have put it, creating awareness that this is an illness like any other, and there is help out there, and that if we can only get our mindset that we can seek help, I think that would be the way to go. Then the issues of superstition, they are there, but I think it is the high time that all the stakeholders come out clear that what we have been holding for all these many years, it is a myth. That if we find maybe a disabled person, especially the mental issues in our family, we are not adults. We are not adults. And again, also, as we have rightly put it, the religious communities also should be able to come out and tell us it is not all about the devil. It is not about the curses.
Generational curses.
There are things that can be tested and proven. Where are they coming from? For example, maybe there could be some genetic disposition. There could be maybe the traumas that this person has suffered over the years. There could be some violence that is going on in the family. Maybe there could be some discrimination of the injustices that are going on. So now when we explore all that, then we'll be able to let this person realize that there is some help out of this. Yes.
You know, in my conversations with Professor Ndete, there's something he's always said, that many times, even before people are taken to him, they've gone through a church. Because churches are easy to access. Pastors are available.
There is no cost implication in most cases.
Kuna wengine wanaekaga cost. Mungu awaonekanie na fundishe kufanya huduma vizuri. So my question is the church well equipped to deal with mental health issues? And if we are not, what must we do?
I hear you. I think the church is somewhere, because it is not like the days when we are getting born again and everything was like ati mmesema unasikia aje, that is the devil. So we lay our hands on you and we scream the devil out of you. But with the time, we have realized that there are certain things that some certain information I need from you before I lay my hands on you. And that one is coming slowly but surely. So I agree with you, a little more needs to be done.
Yes.
And that is why we are opening space. Like in our training in the full gospel, we have pastoral counseling. Pastoral counseling. But we are also moving to the conventional counseling, so that we combine the two. We combine the two. We use our pastoral counseling as a resource, because also in the conventional counseling we also use the spiritual resources. Yes. So that now, besides the spiritual resources of prayer, of the Bible, and all that, deliverance and all that, we also incorporate what is it that you as a client can do differently.
I like what you're saying, because I've realized it doesn't mean automatically just because you're called to be a pastor, then you're good at counseling.
That is the thing.
Yes, we need proper training.
Proper training.
In that area.
Indeed, we have a school that we call Berean School of Leadership. And one of our topics is basic counseling.
Basic counseling.
Yeah. Okay. Besides teaching them about hermeneutics, homiletics, and church leadership, we also incorporate introduction to basic counseling.
I think that's very important, because like we said earlier, the first place many people will go is to the church.
It's the church.
Because it's accessible and I can see my pastor.
Yes.
This morning, being a Friday morning, we're having Mindshift Friday, talking about economic inequality and matters mental health. We get to hang out with Reverend Caroline Wanjiko Kamau, pastoring with Full Gospel Church Zimmerman, together with her husband, Bishop Kamau Ngwiri. If you have any questions for us, a comment to add to this conversation, 20316 is the SMS line, and the WhatsApp number is 0786 316 316. I've got John Githanga in Nakuru. You say oftentimes the lowly people in the society feel the well-to-do, especially political leaders, are their oppressors, leading to cases of hopelessness, depression, and other mental issues. I think our spiritual leaders should be more pragmatic in helping people who are suffering from depression and all that jazz. What do you think, Reverend?
Yeah, I think he has brought it out very well, that the church has a place in helping the people to manage their mental issue problems. And this is how I look at it. Besides preaching the faith and praying for them, can we tell them how to live in this world? Because we are in the world, though we are not of the world. And this is where I was coming through, that we need to teach our people. Like you mentioned something about the COVID-19 and those people who lost their jobs. If they had known that there is need to prepare for the rainy day, and put something aside, I think they would be safer at that level than possibly they were. I think these are the things that need to come out very well, even in our preaching, in our services, so that we have seminars where we are encouraging people in the issues of investment, in the issues of earning money, in the issues of spending, in the issues of budgeting. We are teaching them issues of being in charge of your finances. Again, we also need to tell them that kazi ni kazi. So that we work, maybe of course the work that we bring God glory. Again, we don't want to get ourselves into certain levels. So whatever your hands find to do it with all diligence. That's the word of God. God also says that he blesses the work of your hand. So whatever you find yourself to do, do it with diligence and commitment. Sometimes I was talking to some ladies in a seminar, and I was telling them, sometimes we complain that even the believers are not promoting us. They are not promoting my small kiosk.
Yes.
They can't buy my tomatoes. They just pass by and go to the next. I tell them, if you don't do what others are doing, you bring your tomatoes, they are dirty, you put them there. You are even cursing them because you are saying, "Siju kama watu watanunua hii." You know, the way you talk over those things.
Yes.
So when I come and find they are dirty, they are not well, they are not attractive to my eyes, I'll pass to the next. And then you think we are not promoting. So do what needs to be done. Then I tell them, wengine waliamuka 6 to get to the market. They have done their cleaning, they have arranged their things. You are going to your kiosk at 10 when everybody else have bought.
Yes.
So we are talking about diligence. We are talking about hard work. We are talking about embracing what it is that you are doing and doing it well. Yeah,
okay.
I think that is an area that we need to open our mind, do something. You remember in our days, especially young men would move from one house and akula lunch and move to another one and akula supper, you know, and days goes like that. So by the time he's telling us we want to get married, we are wondering, where are you taking me?
Reverend, what would you tell somebody who's listening in today and they can identify with what they're talking about? They have maybe a family member, or maybe it's even themselves, and they have mental health issues that they have to deal with, yet economically, hakuna kakitu, so they don't even know what to do. How would you give them counsel?
Okay, it is happening that possibly we have these mental issue problems, but economically we are not able to get there.
Yeah.
I would advise that first things first. In this level, I mean that there are things that we begin with. I don't know if for example, you are saying, I have somebody here suffering from anxiety. The beginning point is, have you had somebody listen to them and listen to you also? Yeah. So that maybe they can take you to the next level. To the next level. For example, we have counselors. Sometimes we say we can do pro bono. Yeah. Meaning that I would want to help the much I know how. Yeah. But then from my point, I can be able to refer you to another level where maybe you can be able to get help. Yeah. Okay. So I think where we are getting to, the Kenyan government is aware of the issues of mental health. Yeah. And there is a policy that works on that. Of course, I may not be very sure about what is it, but there is an element of the same. So I want to believe that with that, the government may be opening spaces where these mental issues of people possibly who cannot afford, they can be able to get to the other level. Yes. Okay, okay. There's something you've said there that has provoked a thought. Also just being able to open up spaces where people can talk. Yeah. But sometimes when you're going through some of these issues, anxiety, depression, you know, bipolar, people don't understand you, so you kind of keep to yourself. Yeah. But I think having spaces where people can feel safe enough to talk and share what they're going through, I think that can also be a beginning point of helping. Yes. Reverend, my time is up. What's your parting shot to our audience this morning? Yeah, my parting shot is that mental health is a reality and economic inequalities are a reality too. But breaking the cycle of the two will take a deliberate decision of all the stakeholders. Yeah. And particularly the church, because of the faith and the trust that people have given the church. I think as a church we need to do a little more. Yeah, we need to do a little more. Okay. Yeah, training the personnel and also creating and avenues for disseminating the information to all the stakeholders.
Very true.
Yeah.
Reverend Caroline Wanjiku, thank you for coming today.
Thank you.
I truly appreciate the conversation we've had.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I'm also grateful for the opportunity.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Well, if our conversation has resonated with you, reach out for help. The easiest place you can find help, the beginning point can be your church. Just walk to church, talk to somebody. Don't wallow in misery. Tafuta mtu ongea na yeye. These things are happening all over. Let's create awareness. Help is available. Until next week for another session on Mindshift Friday, thank you so much for tuning in and have a great weekend.
Thank you for watching. Remember, subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can get notified whenever we upload new fresh content every day. Stay tuned and enjoy fresh, uplifting content.